What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet, and you are once again listening to the Big Stack Podcast, episode number 4. This week we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I personally want to talk about last week, spending the week in LA, going to the Mortal Kombat 11 reveal. We've got some news about, you guys mentioned Diablo. What all did you have to talk about? Jacob, what stories you got lined up for us?
Yeah, there was a giant Diablo 2 mod that released. There's some stuff going down over at the Pirate MMO Atlas that I would like to talk about. And I want to talk about EA canceling their Star Wars project.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that. I made a video about it, and I still have more stuff to say. Jacob, do you have anything in mind that you wanted to, or Ellis, do you have anything in mind you wanted to talk about this week?
Yeah, Game Freak has a game coming out for all consoles that I
Excellent.
guess is leaving early access. Sony got hit with a pretty big fine in Europe, and EA cancels an open world Star Wars game.
Yeah, I'm a little mad at Sony right now, too. I'm very mad at Sony, actually, I'm going to think about it. But before we get into all of that, I want to remind you guys, we are now available on iTunes. Episode 1, Episode 2 are up. Episode 3 will be up very soon. And Episode 4, if you're listening to it here on iTunes, or if you're listening to any of these episodes on iTunes, do us a favor, drop a comment and drop a rating. It will really help out the podcast. You can also find them for free on our SoundCloud. You can also find them at the YouTube channel, youtube.com/, well, you have to search for The Big Stack. We don't have a vanity URL just yet. And don't forget, we're also available at Patreon at patreon.com/The Big Stack Podcast, where I currently think we have up to like 57 people following us over there on Patreon, clocking at about $110, $120. So
Nice.
that is split amongst the three of us, and it uses keeps us coming back every week and makes us, just a small video game budget right now. But hey, maybe one of these days it'll be enough for these boys here to pay their rent, and that would be awesome if that was the thing you guys would like to provide for us. So, well, let's...
Lastly, before I forget, by the time this goes live, the podcast should be available on Spotify because it's pending approval right now, and I know a lot of people are asking for that.
And no matter how you choose to watch, no matter how you choose to listen, we are just glad you are here. Our audience is still fairly small, with about 10,000 listens per episode. But you know what? I'm pretty happy with 10,000 people listening per episode. I never wanted to be H3H3. I just wanted to have an excuse to come and bullshit with my friends. So let's talk about Mortal Kombat 11 a little bit.
I'm excited.
Did you guys watch the reveal much, or have you seen much of the gameplay?
I did. I watched all of the tournament. I watched the NetherRealm stream, which had a bunch of pros playing.
Who won the tournament? I was too busy doing like VIP
Sonic
stuff.
Fox, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, very unsurprisingly. He was there, and I walked right by him at some point, and I wanted to say like, "Oh, hey, what? Dude, I like to meet him and shake his hand and be like, I loved your word speech or whatever." He was like really busy. Yeah, and he wasn't like shaking nobody's hand. Like he shot by like a couple people who know him, and he was just like, I'm done. So I think he's just a busy dude now. I think everybody's like eyes are on him. He's probably just being real careful and safe. The event was weird. I want to talk about the game itself, but I want to talk about the event and some of the stuff they had.
I want to hear about everything that happened.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
So they had some boosts set up in what they called the black market, which I presume is going to be how they do like some sort of microtransactions or whatever in the game. I did talk to Ed about that directly, and I know Angry Joe did as well. So you guys worried about microtransactions, don't worry. We have told Ed specifically how you feel. Whether or not he listens is up to Ed.
When you say Ed, you mean Ed Boon, right?
Ed Boon, the leader, director, the developer of Injustice series and the Mortal Kombat series.
Okay.
And pretty much the head of NetherRealm over there.
Yeah.
And the game is being published by Warner Brothers. And let's just be honest with you. At the end of the day, I don't think Ed wants to put microtransactions in his game, but Warner Brothers is publishing the game and it has to make money. And I'm sure Warner Brothers probably, there's probably a compromise to be made. So that's probably what it always comes down to. I would like it if they monetized it the way they have Smash Brothers. Just keep giving me fighter packs, man. I just want fighter packs forever.
Sure.
Give me 20 fighter packs. I'll keep buying them, man. Keep giving me guest characters. But, so they had this black market set up. And there was some cool stuff there where you could like buy skateboard stuff with the Mortal Kombat 11 logo and like t-shirts and art prints and like plastic figures and stuff like that.
Okay. I thought you meant in-game.
Oh, no. And then there was, then in that black market area, there was this, no, you can't buy skateboards.
No.
I'm just saying maybe it would improve the game if it was like
if it was skateboards?
Mortal Kombat 5.
They took away Sub-Zero's ice clone ability and gave him a sweet kickflip.
Yeah,
I would play that.
you
honestly,
would buy that, right? The
Tony-
fatalities are just as brutal. You're just, getting cursed off on a half pipe.
Tony Hawk's Mortal Kombat 11. I would play that. But so they had some booths set up where you could like pose for a fatality thing. That was pretty cool, but the line was really long, so I never ended up doing it. They also had another booth where you could beat old broken down electronics like Xerox machines and copiers and stuff like that.
Like from Office Space?
Yeah, with sledgehammers and stuff. And I don't know what that has to do with Mortal Kombat. All I know is that the VIP room was right next to that. And I have an anxiety disorder. So here I am sitting in the VIP room trying to do some meetings and meeting people from Turtle Rock Studios and Warner Brothers and stuff like that. And every few seconds I hear a sledgehammer ripping a Xerox machine apart. Whoom! Whack! And there's like glass shields
really fun,
blocking everything. And there's
I wish they had that at E3.
Chunks of that stuff would just splatter up against the plastic, and you rah. And so eventually, that person would get their 10 swings in, 20 swings in, and then have to move on, and then you get this lull of 3 minutes. And then, boom! Just like out of nowhere again. And I would just shoot out of my seat every time. I don't know why that was there. I really wanted to go in there and film a Francis video, honestly. But
yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a perfect opportunity.
But they made you wear like all kinds of like guards and like face guards and hand guards and gloves and like a leather suit and stuff. And I was like, this is weird. This is just a weird thing to do. But it was cool.
Yeah, it started to get kind of
weird.
Right.
And then there was a lot of cosplay there. Which is just something I don't know if Ed will listen to this. And Ed, if you do, I love you. Now I'm gonna criticize the shit out of you, but I still love you. So Scarlett got revealed in this new game, and I don't know if you guys have played a lot of Mortal Kombat, but Scarlett in Mortal Kombat 9, very sexily dressed. She was a very sexy girl with long black hair and kind of that red ninja outfit, that kind of thing. And in this one, she's definitely evolved. I would imagine. She's cut off all her hair, and now she's wearing pretty much clothes head to toe. And like there's hardly any skin, and so there's even customizations. And as far as we could tell from the demo, there's no customizations to get her old suit back. Now that's probably character development. That's probably just what they want for Scarlett. There'll probably still be scantily clad girls in the game, but I worry that there's not, because it's weird. All the cosplay girls that were there were, for the most part, wearing very sexy, decent cosplay. I wouldn't say it doesn't have to be sexy to be decent. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they were wearing very high-end cosplay and were choosing to do sexy versions of non-sexy characters. There was a very sexy Shao Kahn there, for example, with, cleavage and a bikini and the whole 9 yards. And it's so interesting to see that maybe they're nervous or afraid to go in the direction of making Scarlett sexy and put sexy characters in the video game. But all the women that were there who were dressed as Mortal Kombat characters had a very sexy take on it. And I don't think it would be offending those girls by letting Scarlett maintain her looks from 9. I don't know who that's upsetting. It's so very surprising to me. But I'm sure there will be plenty of scantily clad girls. It's a Mortal Kombat game.
Like you said, it might not be because they're worried about upsetting people. It might just be because
an artistic choice.
Wanted to change that character specifically, and they'll leave that to somebody else.
And I hope that turns out to be the case. I hope that we'll still get Jade and Katana and some of these other characters wearing what they have wore for 10 games now at this point. I would hate to see it all taken away.
Sure.
Here's what I will say about this game. They do not give a shit about gore. This is the goriest Mortal Kombat yet. Have you seen these fatalities?
Yeah, they are rough.
Yeah.
I saw the brain coming out with the face coming out even further.
Yeah, Baraka will literally rip your face off, reach into your skull, yank out the brain on a claw, and eat it. That's one of his fatalities.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's great.
One of them is Sonya kicks you up in the air and then shoots you with her wrist guns, and it makes you fly up in the air and fly into a helicopter blade, and it tears you into pieces. And there's like the blade spinning with a little intestine on it.
Yeah,
I would like to see cosplay of that.
Literally every punch uses as much blood as a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's like insane. Like I literally uppercutted just one person, and it was all of the blood from Django Unchained from that one punch. I've never been so impressed with the Mortal Kombat game. As for the gameplay itself, you can look up gameplay videos, but here's what I will tell you: 9 was very runny and very fast. 10 was very runny and very fast. The run mechanic has been taken out. and a lot of pros have said it's fairly sluggish. You're walking back slowly, you're walking forward slowly. I like that. I've always, because I've never been a pro, so I've never been able to do juggle physics and juggle combos. I've always been one combo, maybe a second combo, never 3, 4, 5 combos in a row. I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to juggle you and keep you in the air. I've never wanted to be that good at a fighting game. I just want to see the fatalities and the X-rays and the other cool stuff. So it was really fun for me.
Is it more appealing than to like a more casual player or casual audience?
I think that might be the case, but it does seem like the pros are still going to love it. Probably the thing I liked most about it, there was like I forget what they call it, fatal blow. So once somebody is down to a certain percentage, you have a chance to get caught up by triggering your fatal blow, which will recharge eventually. So like if you're getting your ass beat early on in round 1, you get down to your fatal blow and you can land that fatal blow. You're going to knock them down a good 30-40%. And then of course, if you knock them into their fatal blow range, they'll fatal blow you back. And then that will recharge. It's on some timer during the fight. Well, the fatal blows kind of look like the X-rays from X, and they are just gorgeous. They are just so fun to execute. They are so fun to do. And nobody would ever really use at the pro level. You would never use an X-ray unless you were showing off. You would use them to charge your other moves. Use the meter to charge your other moves, but now there's no reason not to do it. So I really like that.
That's good. I like that.
It's going to make it a lot more fun to watch. So I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the game. The event was fantastic. And then if I can get personal, I know this podcast is more about video games, less about me, but I had so much fun in LA.
Yeah, I want to hear
awesome.
about your
I want to know what you did, man.
I landed in LA.
Sorry, you had to hang out next to a explodey Xerox room, though.
Well, that was fine. I mean, everybody else was enjoying it, and I was the one with the anxiety disorder, so it's fine. But like I landed in town, and I'm like, hey, I'm in Koreatown. What's there to do? Thinking somebody from the event would see it, and like maybe we'd hook up or hang out or whatever. And Andy Melanakis is like, hey, dude, I'm streaming in Koreatown. Come join us. So sure enough, I went to this restaurant called Toe Bang and ate with Andy and. I believe her name was Gretchen.
I'm sorry. Did you say Toe Bang?
Yeah, the restaurant was Toe Bang. In Koreatown in LA. You should eat there.
Did you suck on them toes?
I did suck on those toes.
Nice.
And it was weird live streaming eating in front of 2,000 people. That was weird. But
yeah, I imagine.
It was kind of weird that Andy Melanakis even knows that I exist because I've been watching him since the MTV days. The dude's great. He's funny. I think he has the opinion.
I didn't know he was still producing content.
Well, so he mostly live streams now.
Cool.
And we were talking about, I'm like, what else do you do? And he's like, I'm just always behind the scenes helping other people do their stuff now. And so I can only imagine how much money that guy's making. But everybody in LA knows him. It's just so weird. It's just so weird. Like, I don't know, just hanging out with somebody like Andy because like the owner of the restaurant was just, he's like, hey, I've come up with some new dishes. Here's 10 more things. Eat 10 more things, please.
All right.
And at the end, I reached into my wallet for my credit card, and Andy just was like, "What? What are you paying for food? That's weird. What would you? I'm not gonna pay for food. Food's free, right?" Like he didn't say that, but that's the reaction everybody gave. And I'm like, I didn't know if the streamer, the people were streaming for, if they were paying for it, or the restaurant was just giving it away because we were giving them promotion, or maybe it's just because they know Andy, or I don't know.
But you don't want to cover yourself, right?
Yeah, I like it. It's a cool deal. It's cool.
Was the food good?
It was great. I'd never had much Korean. And so we had something like called a military soup, or soldier soup or something like that. And basically these soldiers would take whatever MREs they had, throw them together and make a big soup and then feed everybody from that soup. And so it was meant to simulate that. So it had some noodles in it and had some spices in it and had some ham in it and had some meats in it and had some veggies in it and had some whatever you could find. You just make a stew out of it. And so they have, each Korean restaurant apparently has their own version of that. And theirs was very, very good. And then there was like,
all right,
the weirdest thing I've ever eaten was a Korean meal now. And I can't believe this. He's like, I've been developing some street foods. And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, street foods.
I don't know what that means, but let's see. And he's like, I'm going to bring you out a couple. So one of the things he brought out was this cheesy corn. And it was just corn covered in cheese, melted cheese, creamy cheese, like maybe some sour cream and mayo. I don't know what else was in it. Delicious cheesy corn. But they had taken flaming hot Cheetos and mashed them up into crumbs and then covered that cheese in it. And I looked at it and I'm like, I do not want to eat this, but I should.
I don't want to eat that. I don't want to think about anybody.
Burger King has an exact dish exactly like that.
Well, if so, I'm going to Burger King right now because I took one bite and it was heaven. Now,
Yeah?
I think Burger King had corn in theirs.
right, I've had indigestion for 3 days now.
Worth it?
Yeah, because I really could only eat about one bite, but when the cameras turned off, I tried to go back for a second bite, and I just couldn't because it had gotten cold and congealed and disgusting.
Oh God, it sounds like it started that way to me, but
It was great, dude. Go to Tobang and get this. Suck on them toes while you're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
go to Tobang, suck on them toes, and eat horrible Cheeto dust.
And then the event was great. Ed Boon walked up to me, which was weird because, again, like, I don't know why Ed Boon would know I exist. But I've been playing this video game since college in the 90s, you know. And
Is he as tall as he looked on that stage?
he's a tall dude. Yeah,
He
looks
looks
tall dude.
extremely tall.
He's got about 8 inches on me, I think, give or take. And then he's
In what-
taller than me
In
too.
what respect?
Then he's taller than me too.
Ah!
Yeah, I asked him, I said, so Angry Joe just interviewed you? And he goes, yes. And I said, did Angry Joe get into your ear about microtransactions? And he says, yes. And I said, then just imagine I said exactly what Angry Joe just said, okay? And we don't have to do it. And he's like, okay. And that was probably my favorite part. Because I don't know, man. Like, I love the star treatment, and I love getting to meet rock stars like Ed Boon and Cliff Bleszinski and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, I'm always going to do my due diligence and then just be like,
Good.
look, this is what we want as fans. This is what my audience wants as fans. I know it's awkward. I know it's weird. I know you don't want me lecturing about microtransactions, and I know it sucks because you have to make Warner Brothers, whoever's publishing your game, happy. I know that. I get that. But we're still going to do it because that's what I do.
I gotta find
this
out.
is my literal job
Sure.
description, right?
Yeah.
And then this is probably the best part. My friend Adam the Woo, you can check him out at the Daily Woo or Adam the Woo on YouTube. Check out the Daily Woo. It's mostly daily videos there. And he's like a vlogger that does Disneyland and Disney World and theme parks and Six Flags and one
that guy
Daily
was
World.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I got to hang out with him. He's the one I went to Disney with last December. And then I got
the
to
one we went to Disney.
Oh, that's right.
with.
Yeah, of course. I forgot you met him. Yeah. And then he's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, I don't know, whatever you want to do. I was thinking about going down to the Strip. He's like, let's go to the Strip. So we walked the entire Strip. I went from the beginning to the end, all the way up to the Chinese Theater, and then about halfway back down. And that's up on his channel if you want to see that. I've got some footage from that as well. Adam the Woo, probably one of the nicest men I have ever met in my life. And he's actually living my dream. That's what I want to do. I want to get skinny enough to where I just go to Six Flags every day and Disneyland every day and travel the world. That'd be great.
Cool.
That's my post-dog plan. Once my dog is old and tired and then I don't have to worry about missing Sammy. I'll just
Post-dog.
going to take you guys to Disneyland with me every day.
Are you pre-dog or post-dog?
Yeah, we're in a pre-dog world right now. No, we are in a current dog world.
Yeah.
So
Present dog.
So Mortal Kombat 11 comes out April 19th, if I remember. I got to play the game for a straight hour, and I got
Nice.
some footage from it, and that'll be up on my YouTube channel along with the vlog. I'll probably put up a gameplay video as well. I should say hashtag WB sponsored because they did fly me out there and did pay for my room. So you should always know whenever I talk about something like this, you should always know whether or not money is exchanged hand. And no, I don't have any money in my pocket. I did get to go to LA for free. And so you should always know that could influence my opinion about a video game. It doesn't. I've flown out and played Ubisoft games that I then came home and screamed about for 3 days.
But you're notably not doing that
right.
here, right?
But
you
it's-
really enjoyed Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it was amazing. I literally can't believe I have to wait till April 8th. Because one of the fatalities, or April 19th, or whatever, one of the fatalities was Sub-Zero, I think. I can't remember because I only saw it briefly. But I think Sub-Zero hung somebody upside down on his clone. I think that's how it played. And then he reached down and grabbed their head and ripped their head off, including the spine. Then held the spine and hit them in their own dick with their head.
Like a weird spine flail.
Right. Yeah. So
Good video game.
out of all the
What a way to
things,
go out.
out of all the things I thought I was going to see that day, I did not see somebody getting hit in the head, getting hit in the dick with their own head.
I guess they got hit in the head with their dick as well.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
See, at that point, it's just disrespectful, right? They're already dead. They don't
Right.
know you hit him in the dick.
Yeah,
right? It's for you. It's
That's
just,
that's the ultimate BM.
it's just for you.
It's for
So
you.
you said you played for an hour straight.
Yep.
How many of the characters did you play?
All the ones that were available.
All the ones that were available.
yeah.
Okay.
And I got to say, I think I do not like. I don't know. The customization is weird, so I don't know if there's much going to change that. I do not like what they did to Scorpion's chain throw. Because it basically, you don't really get the chain from it anymore. Just you pull them past you. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, so I need to look at other people's gameplay because that was really frustrating. I'm used to being able to pull them in and comboing them, so it changed the way I played Scorpion quite a bit. Sub-Zero played really, really well, and like they said, there's not just like the Mortal Kombat X allowed you to have like 3 different versions of each character, but now you can heavily customize that. Not at the tournament scene, I don't think. But on the customized thing, very similar to the way you could do it with Injustice 2 if you played Injustice 2. You could customize your characters severely there. Yeah. And so I guess that's what's happening with Live. So I don't know. Maybe there is ways to get Scorpion's old, or maybe I was doing something wrong. Like I said, I can't say for sure. I only got to play for an hour. I really like the new guy who messes with time, though. Yeah. He can.
Time mages.
I did not experience this myself, but I was told by somebody else who played. He can change the round timer.
Yes.
And add time or subtract time to the round timer. And so if you're turtling, dude, that dude will make the round shorter. Okay? And if you're turtling and he thinks he can beat you, he'll make the round longer. If he's losing, he'll just make the round longer. We never done that in a video game.
That is really interesting.
Brand new as far as I know.
I'm really impressed that they would attack that mechanic in that way. That's really cool.
All right, and so when you have a franchise that's been around since the 90s, you get a chance to do some really weird stuff, and that's some really weird stuff. And as much as I didn't like the way Scarlett looked, boy, I love the way she played, man. Because it was gross, because she literally rips your blood out of you and uses it as a weapon. I've never... What is that? Like, literally, some of the fatalities, she sucks all the blood out of you, makes it into a scythe, and cuts you up with a scythe made out of your own blood. Never.
She used like a straw?
No, she's just that's her power. She manipulates blood. She's Magneto for blood.
Magneto for blood. Yeah. Bloodnito.
It's insane. That game is completely insane. That'll be the best fighting game of 2019, and I say that because Smash came out in 2018.
Smash came out in 2018.
Because as much as I love the Mortal Kombat series, God, Smash is good.
Smash is so good.
Yeah, it really is.
You fit trainer, best girl.
I was having a lot of fun. We've been being really competitive and doing 1v1s, hazards off, picking the competitive stages. But last night I sat down with 2 friends at your place, Boogie, and we turned Final Smash Meter on.
Yes.
We turned hazards back on.
Yes.
And then we just picked random stages, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
Not taking it seriously.
Right. When I saw that, I was like, man, if they turn on items, they're playing actual Smash Brothers. God help us.
We didn't go that far.
Right, we didn't go that far.
We're not monsters.
I have to say, so I am very eager to complete the spirit sets. So I've been grinding through the single player mode. What do you call that?
Worldwide.
And then, well, not only that, but also the classic mode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sure.
So I'm watching the completionist, my friend Gerard, and I'm watching the completionist. I got to see him at the game event. We hung out for a while, but I'm watching his video on Smash Brothers, and I discovered if you technically want to complete the game, not only do you have to beat it all 76 times single player for classic mode, you have to play it co-op again, second time. So you have to play it 140, 152 times. Classic mode 152 times, boy.
That's a lot of Smash.
Does he have a bud to play?
He's got a really interesting setup. I don't know how open he is about it, so I probably shouldn't dox him or anything. But he's in an office with a bunch of employees that help him make his videos and help him run his other stuff. And then I think he's also in a building with some other YouTubers, and I think he's fairly open about all that. So if I just doxed you, I apologize, Gerard, but I don't think I did. But that's kind of cool. So I'm sure whenever he's just dude, I need you to come play Smash Brothers with me, help. I'm sure people are just oh, I love Smash. Let's do it.
Yeah, I want to do that. That sounds great.
Yeah, this is great. All right, that's way better than lifting boxes or whatever crap you normally have me doing. But yeah, I love Smash, man. I'm really looking forward to Piranha Plant. When's he available?
End of the month, right?
No, beginning of February. It's beginning of February.
Okay.
We have some big games coming out. Did either of you download the Resident Evil 2 remake demo?
Yeah, I did. I played it quite a bit.
So what did you think of Biohazard? Well, what did you think of 7? Resident Evil 7?
I liked it quite a bit. Yeah. I only played it in VR.
Right.
At your house.
That's right. Yeah.
So I got like halfway through, I think, in one sitting.
Yep.
And then I just like never picked it back up again. It was fun. I did like it.
If I remember, I think you were only about a quarter way through, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had because you didn't really get to the part where it became very Resident Evil-y. You made it out of the first house into the second one. I think you were fighting the bug lady at the end when you stopped. So I have to say, I loved, and this is rebuilt in what looks like the same engine as 7 was. So that's great, and it just looks and plays like it.
Visually, it looks very good.
Here's the best part. I've never played Resident Evil 2, so I don't know the story. It's all brand new to me.
Same. It's like a brand new game. Right. I get a whole new Resident Evil, and it looks great. It looks like it came out, this year.
And it plays like 4. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it looks so good. It looks So the demo was short. You only have 30 minutes to play, and I beat it in 21, but I didn't explore as much as other people did. There was a really weird statistic floating around on Reddit, and I don't know if it was true, but they said over a million people, at one point, 1 million people had downloaded the demo, and only 29% had beaten the demo. And I don't know if that was because they weren't interested, or if they were exploring, or if it was too tough for them. I don't know. That's weird.
I was exploring a whole bunch, and then I ran to the time, and I haven't picked it back up on a different whatever to finish it.
Yeah,
but it was good enough that I think we all kind of want to buy the game now.
Right, but everything I said on the last podcast about Resident Evil 2 and how I was afraid of changing the cameras and how it didn't. Nope, I'm wrong. I was wrong. Demo is great. I still won't pre-order. I'll still wait till it comes out and then purchase it that day, or at least wait until reviews come out. Or
Boogie, I want to ask you about something about the demo.
Yeah.
At the end of my demo, whenever I was finished with it, Ellis was sitting next to me, and a short little video played. Basically telling you, "Hey, go pre-order this." Mm-hmm. There was a little clip in that video of something I can't explain because I'm not sure that I know what I saw.
Tofu.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You saw tofu.
It was tofu.
It was tofu. Yeah. Okay. And there was a mode in the second game. It was an Easter egg or a code or something where you could play as tofu. A big block of tofu.
And
so they brought it back because it was a fan favorite. You can play a tofu game.
Is if you are a big block of tofu, are the zombies no longer interested in munching on you?
I have no idea. I can't wait to find out. I'm going to play through a second time as tofu.
This sounds like a good video game.
Yeah. It's when Capcom was really at their best, and now they're doing it, they're bringing these games back, and they're not screwing it up, and it's great.
Monster Hunter World, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to see them getting back into the swing of things and making good fun games with good prices. Holy crap. Oh, no.
Yep.
Makes me want to buy their games.
It makes me want to buy their games and recommend to other people that you buy their games.
Yeah, maybe one of these days I will feel about Capcom the way I used to feel about Blizzard or Bethesda.
Oh, rip.
It's possible I will buy multiple Capcom games in 1 year, and that's impressive.
And then we got Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3 releases at the 29th of this month.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's right. Ooh, boy, am I excited!
Soundtrack, the original soundtrack, is now, I believe, available on Spotify.
Yeah,
I listened all your Utada Hikaru tracks.
I listened to one of the songs. Not gonna lie, it was a bop.
Yeah, they're all good.
Song.
It was a banger.
One of them has Skrillex in it, which is strange to me.
That's the one I listened to. And I looked at it and said, wow, this is a Skrillex song? Not for me. No, thank you. And then I listened to it. That's pretty good.
It's actually pretty good, right?
It's a pretty good song.
It's hard for me to admit that I really enjoyed a Skrillex song.
I would have preferred Marshmallow.
I really liked it.
I would have preferred Marshmallow.
Oh, yeah.
I really like Marshmallow.
Okay, sure.
I don't want to listen to the soundtrack, and you know why? Because I don't want spoilers.
Do you think that they're gonna sing about
they're going to sing about the worlds that are included, probably.
There's a bunch of lyrics in the song that tell you all the story beats.
And Sora dies in chapter 2. Yeah, probably, hopefully not.
Your Utada Hikaru impression is top notch. I could not even tell the difference.
Yeah, it's pretty much her. But no, what I was saying though is it's going to tell me what worlds we might be visiting, and I've avoided all of that, other than the Toy Story one that was in the demo. And I'm sorry for those of you who didn't know that Toy Story was one of the worlds, but other than the Toy Story one and the other one that was in the demo, I know nothing, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know until I play it.
I heard you go to Hell, and you team up with Doom Guy, and he's one of your party members.
Nice, Doom Guy.
One of those.
Doom Guy for Smash.
Doom Guy for Smash. Doom Guy for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Just put him in everything.
Put him in everything.
Get us all excited about Doom Eternal.
I am going to be so disappointed if Star Wars characters are not at least somewhere in Kingdom Hearts.
The new Doom?
then the new dude, shut up. Kingdom Hearts 3, there's got to be some Star Wars in there, right? And if there's not a Star Wars, some Marvel stuff. I don't expect us to go to the Marvel Cinematic Universe or anything, but it'd be cool if, like, I don't know, at some point if we just fight Darth Vader for no good reason, I'll be happy. That's all I want.
You have Captain America on your party, and then you have to fight Darth Vader.
All right.
Because there is something interesting about the mashup between Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters. Because the Final Fantasy characters always seem super serious, right?
Yeah, they're all edgy.
Sephiroth is serious as hell, right? And then Donald's like, you know, like I can't do Donald Duck. The point of
that's pretty close.
Let me tell you something, Sephiroth. I'm gonna shit down your throat. You know, I don't know. It's
that was that Mickey,
right?
Wait, you didn't know that was Mickey? That was pretty good.
Supposed to be, hold on, let's see. Well, gosh, Stora, I'm gonna shove that lightsaber up Darth Vader's ass. You know, it's something about it's
Garsh indeed.
Garsh. I wonder if he can take the whole thing.
So,
can I talk about Star Wars for just 1 minute?
Okay, yeah, sure.
What do you got?
In Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
And 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, so almost all of them.
If a lightsaber touched you, you died. If it touched your arm, you lost your arm. If it touched your chest, you died. If it touched your stomach, you got cut in half like Darth Maul did, okay? Why? Yep. And somebody pointed this out, and it makes me insane now. Why, in the latest movies, if a lightsaber touches you, you get bruised? How is that happening? We literally saw Finn get sliced across the chest. He was up and moving in the second movie. What is happening? What is happening? Do you not understand lightsabers? Do you not understand lightsabers? They are laser swords. They are not sticks. These are not the toys kids play with. Okay, if you get hit with a toy lightsaber, yeah, you get a bruise. If you get cut by a real lightsaber, you get cut in half.
I always wanted a real lightsaber.
I always wanted
wouldn't
a real
get me
bruise.
one, though.
I did get real bruises.
Look, I watched episode 7, and I came out of it kind of happy. I was like, you know, it's a retelling, but it's fine, and this is gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I said my childhood's still intact.
It wasn't fine.
Okay, but I pretended. And then I watched. I watched The Last Jedi, and I'm like, it did subvert my expectations, Rian Johnson. It did subvert my expectations, Rian Johnson. It did subvert my expectations. You're good at subverting my expectations because I expected a good movie. I expected a watchable film. Am I wrong? Well,
that's where you fucked up.
That's where you fucked up.
And I
should not have expected a good movie.
I came out of the movie and I immediately did my review, and I'm like, I don't see why everybody's so mad at it. I don't see why it's so bad. I don't see the problems with it. And then I went and watched it the second time, and I started to see the problems. Like the throne room scene, I really liked the first time, and then I saw the choreography in the second one, and it's just so bad. It's just so bad. The choreography is so bad, and it doesn't make sense. And Snoke's line in that scene, I'm sorry if you haven't seen it yet, but don't. It's okay if you don't at this point.
Really,
Snoke is like, and I know that you're going to take your lightsaber and use it on your true villain, which is clearly me. Why could that have been written by an adult?
Mickey Mouse
again? That was Mickey Mouse. That was actually Goofy. Okay. Thank you.
It's the same voice actor.
And but then somebody pointed out to me they don't even know how lightsabers work. They don't even know how lightsabers work anymore. What happened in the 20 years between the 6th movie and the 7th movie? The lightsaber stopped working! The battery's low! Put more crystals in the fucking thing!
Listen, I don't blame you.
Had a good line in like 20 years. Not since those first movies.
So
there were some good lines in those.
The point I'm making is EA canceled the new Star Wars game.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They did do that.
Do you think it's because they didn't know how lightsabers worked?
Please talk about it so I can catch my breath.
They had such a hard time with the movies that they were like, you know what? We don't like these, so we're not even gonna make a game anymore.
Yep.
No. So EA came in and I cannot remember the name of the studio at the moment. Sorry, I don't have the article pulled up. But they came in and canceled a open world game that was being worked on. It was a visceral game.
Hold on. So
that's what it is.
So let me because I think I can do this story justice. I did some research. So a few years back, 2017, the lead developer of the first 3 Uncharted games got sniped by Visceral to come make a new Star Wars game. Story-based linear game. And they worked on it for a while. And then EA came in and said, you know, single-player story-based linear games don't do well anymore. And they're hard to monetize. So we're going to cancel this so that you can use some of these assets to create an open-world version of this game. Maybe something completely new, okay? Yay. So, 2018, as we all know, was a terrible year for single-player games. There was no God of War. There was no Spider-Man. It was a terrible year for single-player games.
No Red Dead Redemption.
EA nailed that one. So they came into the office here at the beginning of 2019. By the way, they just murdered Visceral too, by the way. They're just like, we're done with you guys. How dare you work on a single-player game, you monsters. They just shut them down. So then this project went on. It is a continuation of the first project, using some of the art assets. It is a new project, but it's still using some of the assets for the last one. They came in and they looked at it and they're like, look, when are you guys going to be done with this game? And they're like, well, you did want a nice big open world game, boss. And that takes a while. So 2021, 2022, we're not real sure. We just want to make a good game, so it's going to take a while. And they said, you know what? Now, this is all reported by Jason Schreier at Kotaku. There are sources for it. You can go read Jason Schreier's take on this. This is from his take. They said, well, that's not quick enough because we need a game by 2020. So let's go work on something shorter, faster, and easier to create than an open-world game. Maybe like a single-player game you were working on and were halfway done with back in 2017. Led by one of the best developers in the fucking the entire industry. How? That is sheer incompetence. You canceled the same game twice. And you canceled it the first time because it was short, single-player linear. You wanted it to be a giant open-world game that you could monetize. Then that was taking too long, so you canceled it again. Because you would prefer they work on something shorter that'd be done quicker. Like a single honest to God. It's pure incompetence. Here's the thing. I loved to hate on Peter Moore when he was CEO over there at EA. I really did. When he was in charge of things, I would shit the bed every day with Peter Moore. And Peter Moore knows it. Me and Peter Moore are friends. We still talk to this day. That said, I miss you, Peter. Because at least...
Never thought I'd miss you as head of EA.
You might have been a money-hungry monster who would do anything to monetize games, but you also made sure those games were good, like The Last Dragon Age, okay? You certainly did your best to make sure they were quality games that you just filled with microtransactions. Then Battlefront 2, and I just give up the license at this point, EA. Just give up the license at this point. Just willingly do it. And if not,
crack at it.
Yeah, Disney take the loss. At this point.
Disney and EA, they have a contract signed that EA is the exclusive developer or publisher of Star Wars games. Do we know how long that contract is? Is it a...
I've tried to find out, and I don't
definite
know.
One? Okay.
The closest I've come, I've heard a rumor that there's 2 years left on it. But there's a chart that's floating out there. You can I forget the YouTube. It's in my video. I credited the Twitter person who created this chart. But they showed you all the great games we had from 2000 to 2009 when Star Wars was an open license. And we got... That includes, by the way, the KOTOR games.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, right? It includes the original Battlefront and Battlefront 2. And here's all the Star Wars games we've gotten since EA took over. We do have the MMORPG, the Feld MMORPG.
Oh, that one did really well. Yeah.
And then we have a few mobile apps, including Galaxy of Heroes, which I do dabble with. And then we
dabble? Is dabble the right word for that?
I play it every day, but it's just 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes of auto grinding, watching the game play itself.
Sure.
While I watch television. So
I've watched you do it, so I know exactly what it entails.
And then and then we have Battlefront 1 and 2, and then that's all we've got. And we should have had a Visceral game. And we
Fallen Order's coming out.
Right, that's the game being developed by the incredibly talented people who made Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Respawn. Mm-hmm. And I have nothing but love to say about Titanfall 2. It is a game that was purposely sabotaged. Do you know the story behind what happened to Titanfall 2?
I think I remember that, yeah.
It's so for those of you who don't know the story, basically Call of Duty and Battlefield were always fighting each other, always mad at each other, right? And the folks over at EA decided they were going to use Titanfall 2 to try to reduce the market share of Call of Duty. Because basically you had Call of Duty coming out, a few weeks later you had Battlefield coming out, and they decided to release Titanfall 2 in the middle of those to try to cut as much market share away from Call of Duty as humanly possible. And as a result, since most people who like shooters will play most different shooters, if you space them out enough, a lot of people will choose between Call of Duty and Battlefield. But by the way, a lot of people buy both. Not last year. Yeah. But a lot of people will buy both. I will buy both. I didn't even buy Titanfall 2. And the problem is the game was monetized well. It had an incredible single player. It had time-traveling single-player powers. Like, it was insane. The stuff they did in that game was completely nuts.
I heard there were Titans in it.
Of course there's Titans in it, baby. And the multiplayer was good and fun and fast-paced, and almost everybody got to play Titans, and everybody got to... It was also murdered by their own demo, because their demo wasn't ready, really, by the time the demo came out. But it was just... That was a form of suicide, but it was murdered by EA marketing, too. The other thing that the marketing did, and nobody likes this. Nobody likes this when you do this. They took over the Twitter feed, the marketing company did, and they were tweeting offensive shit about Call of Duty fans. They were attacking Activision. They were attacking Call of Duty. They were attacking fans. Make the right choice. Choose Titanfall. Call of Duty sucks. Go back and look at these tweets. There's videos that compile this era and what happened to Titanfall. And I've watched several of them in the last couple of months, and it's disgusting what they were doing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. How about this? Hey, how about this advertising companies, Gillette? How about this? How about we just say, Titanfall is a good game. It's a fun game. We're monetizing well. Here's the parts of the game you might like. Here's the single player. Take a look at it. Here's the multiplayer. Take a look at it. If you want to spend money on it, it's really hard to, because we capped it at about $90 that you could possibly spend. You wanted a single player game, and it's all about time traveling and doing cool shit. Buy our game. It's fun to play.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
You don't have to. Women are great. Buy our Battlefield. Men are bad. Buy our Gillette razors. You don't have to do that. You don't. Just show me the product, and I'll buy the product if I like the product. You don't have to, I don't understand. I
got a small tinfoil hat question here. You said that the contract might be up in 2 years for the Star Wars games.
That's what I've heard.
For EA.
Right.
And they canceled a game that maybe wouldn't come out under the purview of those 2 years?
That might have been it. The Jason Schreier is reporting that the new console generation, PlayStation Plev and the Xbox 2.
PlayStation Plev?
Yeah, and the Xbox 2, I guess. I don't know at this point what they're going to call them.
Xbox 361.
The current schedule is, and now's a good time to buy a PlayStation and Xbox, by the way, because they're about the cheapest they're going to be and still have new games coming out for them. Announcements this year at 2019 E3, though not for PlayStation, because they're not at E3 this year, because fuck you, that's why, I guess. I don't know. And then
they'll probably still announce, but I don't think it's going to come out in 2019.
Yeah,
they're going to run their own event next to E3.
Right, but that's the thing. They canceled. They also canceled the PlayStation experience this year. They have their own event. They just canceled it for 2018. What are you doing over there, PlayStation?
Maybe something happened.
Yeah, like
they're just going to do everything digitally.
Yeah,
a squirrel got in and ate all the games that they were working on.
Right, and the other really weird
that source code.
Right. Well, anyway, so
their fault for developing a bunch of nuts.
Long story short, we should get announcements for those consoles due out. First looks in 2019, full looks in 2020, release fall of 2020. Now, what's weird about that is both Xbox and PlayStation are waiting to see what the other people do. So the rumors are there are specs that are available now. Then there are upgraded specs for Xbox if we get to wait a year, and upgraded specs if we get to wait for a little while longer. And if we have to pull the trigger today, this is the Xbox you'll get. This is the PlayStation you'll get. Xbox has some really interesting plans. There should be a streaming-only Xbox. I've
seen that.
That's rumored.
Okay.
Then there will be a discless Xbox as well, and then there's supposed to be there's supposed to be one that's about the equivalent of an Xbox One X for the next generation, and then like a Xbox One X version, so like superior version, Like, this is the ultimate one. So if you want to spend $1,000 on an Xbox and get like the future-proofed mega super duper one, right?
Mega, never obsolete.
So like the rumors are there's gonna be 3 different Xboxes, and PlayStation I don't really know what they're doing. That's kind of weird. It's just
maybe they'll give us a nut we can play with outside.
And then like I guess I would mention this. I'm mad at Sony right now.
Okay.
And the reason I'm mad at Sony is because they are starting to severely censor games. And it's really weird. And some of it, like, I understand. It's mostly for the West. But sometimes it's even in Japan they're doing this now. And it has to do with, like, sexuality when it comes to video game characters. Because they understand the Western market pretty well. And they understand that we have a problem with that over here for whatever reason.
It's not just the Western market. A lot of that censorship stuff comes from Chinese laws, actually. If they want to release their game in China, they have to comply with all of their obscenity laws.
But there are a few games...
They're pretty strict.
Right, well, there's definitely a few games that it's for the Western market only, that they have removed stuff from. And there's a couple of games that have appeared uncensored on the family-friendly Nintendo Switch that have been censored by Sony instead. Sony wanted the cleaner version than Nintendo did. And that's a pretty weird...
That is surprising.
And so I don't really know what's going on at PlayStation anymore, but I feel like they've really positioned themselves to lose to Xbox next generation. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be.
Maybe.
They won't lose in Japan.
I mean, they won this year.
Right? They won't lose in Japan because Nintendo won't win in Japan because they have a handheld system. And it doesn't look like PlayStation or Xbox is positioning themselves into much for handheld. There is rumors of a new Vita.
No portable nut this year.
Right. There's rumors of a new Vita because they patented some stuff. Right.
Great. Everybody loved the first one so much.
Right.
They talk about it all the time.
Yeah, everybody loves it.
It's not like people are out there canceling their Vita games.
It's not like they stopped supporting it about a year and a half after it was launched or anything. But...
Hey, speaking of Sony, they did recently get levied with a pretty substantial fine. Not substantial for Sony, but 2 million euros, I believe.
Wait, what was this for? What was this for?
This is for misleading advertising practices regarding their PlayStation Plus campaigns in Europe.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, I mean, I didn't, read the legalities of it, but basically, AGCOM is the European Gaming Regulatory Agency, and they found that it was misleading in that they didn't explain that you needed to pay for it, and that you had to have it to go online.
Weird.
What did they explain then? Because I feel like there's 2 aspects of this service, and those are it.
Those are the 2 aspects.
You give us money, and then you can go online.
So, again, I don't know. These are specifically related to the ads and the advertising campaigns that ran in Europe that we did not see.
Well, I mean, we have the internet. I wonder if we can see them.
More than alleging, they actually did, find grounds to fine them 2 million euros.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. There was a pretty big, right after this generation launched, a lot of people. Obviously, Jack left PlayStation.
Jack PlayStation left PlayStation.
Well, Jack, oh gosh, I had his name in my head and I forgot. But Jack, what was Jack's name?
It's Jack London, right?
No. Let's see, hold on.
Are you sure it wasn't Jack? He made that game, White Fang?
Jack Tritton, damn it. Jack Tritton left. Adam Boyes left soon after to go head up a different studio out in Chicago, Iron Galaxies. And those are the people I really knew there. I still know Sid Schumann to some extent. And he's still there doing the PR stuff. Boys. And I still, of course I know Adam, but he's not there anymore. So I don't really know. I don't really ever have anybody to reach out to or talk to at Sony. And so it's very difficult for me ever to find out what's going on with that company. Bizarre.
I'll go see if I can make friends with Jack London.
Yeah.
You think that'll help?
Who is Jack London? I'm Googling Jack London now. Oh, John Griffin London. If you just used his Christian name, John Griffin London, then I would have recognized that he was an American novelist, journalist, and social activist. He was a pioneer in the world of commercial magazine fiction, and he was one of the first writers who became a world celebrity and to earn a large fortune from writing.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
Jack London is.
He died.
You nailed it.
He's also been dead for years.
He died back in 1916.
Right.
And he was once quoted as saying, "The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time."
That's a pretty good
Stack
quote.
Podcast is now an educational podcast.
I like that quote.
Our category over to proper literature findings.
He was also quoted as saying, "The best way to eat a horse is while it's still alive."
Yep. Bottom up.
Bottom up.
Start with the
Start with the hooves. Anyway, I think I'm going to shave my beard. No, okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we must be getting to that 60-minute mark or something.
So
before,
all right, you have more news before we
completely derail.
Yeah, before we devolve into too much madness, Boogie, I know you were busy. Have you been paying attention to the wonderful pirate MMO Atlas or anything that's happening over there?
No, you mentioned that you had Atlas news, and the only Atlas news I could think of is they just deleted the servers at this point. So I'm real curious to see what you got for me here.
So I'm gonna start at the beginning. Apparently, at some point, someone with admin access to their servers had their Steam login information stolen by someone else. So that person was able to access the console and special debug commands within the Pirate MMO. And they proceeded, these hackers proceeded to bombard players with warplanes falling from the skies, a bunch of World War II tanks, and they just spawned a whole bunch of whales. Now, if
Why are there warplanes in that game? That pirate game?
Oh my God.
I want to say there was a person streaming during this, and their channel has been clipped. So you can see wonderful footage of several whales popping up all at once around a ship, and people zooming around in tanks. Now, the way this has been spun is everyone's talking about how Atlas was bombarded and they were hacked and all of this. The way I read it is someone made their game interesting and fun.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement.
3 hours or however long.
This sounds great. So basically what happened was they rolled the servers back several hours to undo the damage done by these people.
Yeah, you think?
As far as I can find, the people who were responsible are known and haven't been banned, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know where it's at right now.
It's the end of your game as you know it. It's what a cluster mug. Here's the thing, man. We all knew that they had designed, it was basically they had just taken Arc and added a bunch of stuff to Arc and it was still using Arc code. Yes. I'm not surprised to see that all the stuff they've ever coded was in there, but
there weren't warplanes in Arc, right? You can't be in a World War II tank and fight dinosaurs, or is that game way cooler than I thought it was?
So that's the way the game was originally developed, is they were going to do expansions that went through all the time, including, you could be a pirate and also visit dinosaur islands, and then maybe one day one of the expansions is going to have World War II stuff. And the expansions that did come out really drastically changed the game. So, I guess that was originally the plan, is just to make Arc this super weird game where you could just do all of that.
Did you ever play the tabletop role-playing game called GURPS?
Yep.
Because that's exactly what that is.
That's exactly it, right?
And I am super into that. That sounds great.
I want to play GURPS, the video game.
Yeah.
It looks like that's what they're working on, but they're pretty bad at making it, so it's never going to come to fruition. But in the meantime, it'll be funny.
I just want to pull out my GURPS books now.
Let's play GURPS.
Let's play some GURPS.
All right, let's roll up some characters. What is your stamina going to be? Go.
I don't remember how to roll up a GURPS character.
Okay, we need D6s and only D6s.
Right.
And that's all I remember.
There's a GURPS Discworld book, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very interested in that.
Oh yeah, you can mix. So I used to run D&D campaigns, and I ran one recently with you, Jacob and Ellis. But I used to run GURPS in college, and one time we all rolled ourselves as GURPS characters, and basically tried to match ourselves as close as we actually could. I had a really low agility score. And then I ran us through it, and we slowly began to realize that the world around us was not what we thought it was. So one of my friends had some political affiliations, and we role-played that, and we went and met the governor of Virginia, and the governor of Virginia hired us to go to this place to kill somebody, and he had dirt on us, and if we didn't do it, he was going to ruin our lives. So we go to kill the guy, and the guy turns out to be a vampire, and vampires now exist, and we now know they exist, and
I want to play this video game.
Yeah, we ended up locked in his basement, and as we were locked in the basement, we escaped, but as we escaped, we had to crawl through this goo. Yes, I've been watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for a while, and we crawl through like this sewer, and we get coated in this goo, and this goo unlocks a superhero power from the superhero books, and you kind of got to choose your superpower a little bit, but obviously I was a brick, I ended up turning out into being near invulnerable, and one of my friends could fly just very short distances, and one of our friends turned out to be a bit of a teleporter, and then we were having to fight actual monsters and actual,
Sounds
werewolves.
great.
Yeah, it was great. And we were just mixing.
What a campaign.
Yeah, we're
Can
just
I,
mixing.
in the GURP system, be a boombox golem? Because I think that's what I would like to roll my character as.
I think that's possible. I think you can pretty much fit anything into that system.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, what properties
can
would a
check out-
boombox golem have? Why a
You'd attack
boombox?
with like sonic attacks, right?
Oh, what the
I mean,
hell?
you can have there's like a flesh golem and a clay golem and an iron golem. Why not a boombox golem? It's just an iron golem, but
with Marvel and DC being as popular as it is right now, are there any RPGs that are super popular, taking on like almost the level of Dungeons and Dragons, about superhero characters?
Not as popular as Dungeons and Dragons, but
Is
there
it
are
even close?
No, I don't think so. There was one, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago that was a Marvel-based one that was a pretty good system. I read the book. I didn't never actually play it.
So
you talking about Mutants and Masterminds?
No. It was Marvel.
Oh, actually, Marvel.
Right, yeah.
License.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we know that Ellis would like to be a boombox golem. What would you like to be, Jacob?
I want to be. Let's see. That's a tough question that you're hitting me with all at once.
You told me about that time you dreamed about being a sentient bread roll. Maybe it's time to make that dream a reality.
Sure. Okay. I would like to be a sentient bread roll. However, can I have a two-handed sword?
I don't see why not.
There you go.
I really want bread now.
Okay.
What do I do?
mean, we can make that happen.
They'll sell it to just anybody. You don't need a license.
Can
or
we
nothing.
make fresh bread?
Yes.
That's a little more complicated, but we certainly can do that.
I want
bread making podcast coming up.
I want the powers to have my poops come out like icicle daggers.
That seems painful, and you would not want that.
No.
Yeah, why do you want that?
Projectile style. And that's how I kill people with my superpowers.
That's how you wait. Your superpowers you use to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't superpowers. You're a super villain.
Yeah.
No, you don't, because I only kill bad people, dummy. I'm not gonna kill good people.
Yeah, but you're killing them with poop ice.
Yeah.
You're stabbing them with poop ice.
Well, it's very important. It's not cold, because I don't want my butt to be
It's
cold.
not cold.
No, it's
Then
just,
how is it frozen?
because it's made of carbon. Idiots.
I'm
Shit,
sorry.
you're right.
Wait a minute.
You're right. I'm dumb.
So is it?
We're not
ice?
freezing
You're
the
just
water
shooting
inside of it. We're
spikes?
freezing the carbon molecularly.
But it's still freezing.
No, it's not. It's not cold.
not
It doesn't
the
need to be
water
frozen.
part of
No,
ice
it's
that
hardened.
makes it
It's hardened
cold.
carbon.
It's
It becomes
the
as
cold
hard as
part.
wood. It becomes as hard as wood.
Wait, you have wood turds?
No.
You'd be
It's
really
still
effective
turd.
against
It's just
vampires.
hard
you
as
could,
wood.
Stake them in the heart.
You could be Boogie Vampire Hunter, and you
Boogie
just
vampire hunter.
projectile shit wooden turds. at
Okay,
them.
now
Straight
If
instead.
to
anybody
their
wants
heart.
to draw fan art of this episode, please make
Okay,
Boogie
now
vampire
instead,
hunter shooting stakes out of his butt.
I want to be super strong, near invulnerable, and I want to have Spider-Man web shooting powers, and you'd call me the Wrecking Ball.
Okay,
Is
so
that better?
your plan-
Oh, I see. Because
Yeah,
you
just
swing.
swing. You use that momentum.
No, that's good. That I
That's
like.
good. It's
All
a
right,
lot
is that
less
better?
imaginative than
So,
firing
Dracul Art recommends my first character design. His character would be named Deadpoo. Oh, thank you, Dracul Art. You are adorable.
All right. You guys want a weird question?
Yeah, well, it's
last
getting
game
weird.
news, there's a game called Kinshi that came out. It just released. I'm super hyped. I'm not. It's been in early access for 6 years.
What was it called again?
Kinshi.
Okay.
6 years is not early access. That's late access. That's regular access.
I'm just glad they finished it.
I'm glad that they finished the game.
Listen, DayZ went to 1.0 after 8 years or something like that. So whatever. Everything's available now. Anybody can do whatever they want. Who cares?
Right.
I'm going to release my game in pre-alpha. I haven't made it yet, but if you'd like to buy it at its full $60 price tag, I promise I'll get there.
Are you working on Star Citizen? Is that what you're doing?
Or deny? Okay, I'm under NDA in regards to my affiliation with Star Citizen.
I haven't bought a Steam game.
Might have something to do with Duke Nukem Forever.
I haven't bought a Steam game in like 2 years, except like the handful of games I've had to review. There's so many games. Yeah, that's like, I guess it's true.
And Dead Cells.
Yeah, I played it on the Switch.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Hey, how was the Switch version? Did you
amazing.
Experience any lag at all?
It was amazing. It was so good. Played so smooth. And then they just do a big
game for a second time.
Didn't they just do a big update to Dead Cells, like the systems updates and like changes the way the game plays quite a bit? So yeah, there's a reason to buy it a second time. Honestly.
Yep.
Go back and play that. It's really good on Switch. In fact, I didn't even realize it was released anywhere else. Ooh, also, if you are a PC player, you can buy Mortal Kombat for up to 75% off right now. Not sponsored, not paid. I'm just letting you know.
Like
it's currently Mortal Kombat XL is $8.99.
XL is $8.99?
XL is $8.99, baby.
That's a good deal.
It's got all the characters. Did you my main, and for those who care, my main was Jason. And it sucks because he's a guest character. But how would you not play Jason? He's so good.
Sure. I liked the Xenomorph a lot. The Xenomorph was in that one, right?
Ooh, I want to play the Xenomorph.
This is okay. Hold on, this is insane. Wait, I don't understand. You can buy. Yeah. This is why I hate Steam. Mortal Kombat XL, $8.99. Mortal Kombat XL, of course, includes Mortal Kombat packs 1 and 2, plus a bunch of skins. Or you could buy Mortal Kombat X for $6.79, Combat 1 for $9.99, Combat Pack 1 $9.99, and Combat Pack 2 for $19.99. Total $27.78. Why?
What was in Combat Pack 2?
Just 4 characters. It's just the freshest one, so they charge more.
Okay,
yeah, I think it costs more. I think that because they did 2 guest characters. Ooh, it's good though. It's got Triborg, which is the 3 cyborgs from before. All built into one, just depending which way you want to play them. Then Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
Alien, the Xenomorph from the Alien series. Though they do just call him Alien in the game, which is weird to me. And then, of course, my doppelganger, Bo Raicho. And that's what I almost said that to Ed, but I censored myself. I'm like, did you just invite me here because I look like Bo Raicho?
He would have got a kick out of that, right?
Yeah. Well, I tweeted something about that. So let's see. Seems to notice every tweet.
So Boogie, I have a question. You really like having those like slasher stars or whatever as guest characters?
Oh yeah.
It's rumored that Pennywise is going to be the first character of that for Mortal Kombat 11.
Right.
Who else do you want? Who have they missed?
So Kruger was in 9, and I really liked him, and I would not mind having him back.
Okay.
I think it would be super lame to do this. I've seen people ask for the Ghostface from Scream. No,
I don't know what he would do.
Right, but here's the thing. You really have to look at what Warner Brothers owns. Right, because it's Warner Brothers publishing the game, and so obviously Pennywise was published by Warner Brothers, and that's why he's rumored, really. And so you've got The Conjuring, you got Annabelle, you got Beetlejuice, and if you put Beetlejuice in that, I would be so happy.
Yeah, give me Beetlejuice in that boy.
That would be great.
They also published The Meg, Sweeney Todd. I don't think you would do Sweeney Todd.
Can we have Jason Statham in there? And his fatality is he punches you into a shark's mouth.
That sounds awesome.
Do they own the Bye Bye Man?
Oh, I don't know. I don't see the Bye Bye Man. Do they own?
Power set would be just who knows?
Did they own Halloween? Because if they have Halloween, dude,
you could get Myers in there.
Yeah, get Myers in there, right?
Was he in one already? Wasn't Michael Myers in one already? I'm not
saying
maybe
he was. He might have been actually.
Maybe.
I'm not saying don't bring anyone back because like bringing Freddy Krueger back or something.
Here's an interesting one. They have Godzilla.
Oh.
They also have...
I hope that they put him in there to scale.
Right.
He's banned in tournament play. But
I mean, I don't know. You got Shokan and you got...
His fatality is he just steps on you. His only move is he walks forward.
And then he steps on you.
And he steps on you.
He atomic breaths and destroys whatever town you're in.
They have some really good options. Like, seriously, Gremlins. You could put Stripe in there, dude.
You could put Gizmo.
Well, he's not a villain, really, but... They have the Lost Boys.
To be a villain.
Oh my God, Little Shop of Horrors. Piranha Plant for Smash.
Yeah.
Audrey 2 for Mortal Kombat 11.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh my God, please. Audrey 2. Hashtag everybody go to at Ed Boon, or no, it's at Noob Ed. Yeah, Noob Ed. Go spam him on Twitter. Audrey 2 for Mortal Kombat. Let him know this has to happen.
Kombat. Yes.
Oh God, they have the
And
Exorcist.
I wish they could release it alongside Piranha Plant.
They have Poltergeist.
There's some interesting ones in there.
Oh my God, Creep Show. You could do the Crypt Keeper. I mean, they wouldn't make a good character for Mortal Kombat, but a Crypt Keeper. I wonder if they have Toxic
But
Avenger.
Audrey 2 would be great.
Audrey 2. I mean, if they do Piranha Plant, for God's sakes, you know? House of Wax. Yeah, so they have some interesting choices, for sure.
I don't even remember what the guy was called in House of Wax.
Yeah,
Can we get the Animaniacs in there?
Waxy.
Brothers.
Yeah.
It's time for Animaniacs.
Let's get the Animaniacs in there.
And it's time for
Freaky
fatalities.
Zoid, I actually, like, no joke, think would be a really good fighting game character.
I'm ripping off your head, and now you
Freakazoid.
soon be dead.
Oh, yeah. Freakazoid would be great.
We're Animaniacs. And Scarlett drinks your blood, and then she spits it in your face. You know, please
That's
do
a
that.
good ad-lib.
Yeah.
So, Dave, do you have any weird questions for us?
Yeah, give us some weird
yeah.
questions. Let's check the email. By the way, the email is being posted in the chat. And if you were listening to the podcast and you want us to answer a weird question from time to time, you can always follow us on our Patreon, patreon.com/thebigstackpodcast. Throw a buck in there. That's one way to do it. You can always email us if you don't want to hit that Patreon up at, what's the email again, Jacob?
thebigstackmail@gmail.com.
And we prefer the weird questions. We don't necessarily need the politics or YouTube dramas or how much weight I've lost or how small my jing jam is. Let's get weird with it. We had some weird questions that got asked before stream. I guess we kind of wasted those. But what do you got for us, Jacob?
If you had to eat one of your co-hosts, who would it be? And I want to point out, they didn't specify that this was directed at me. It is directed at me, and I'm eating Boogie.
Yeah, I'm too stringy.
I'm like veal, baby.
Big snack.
Yep, that's a big snack.
And that was from
podcast.
Jagan or Yagan. I'm not sure how to say that, but sorry if I said it wrong.
I would surprisingly, I think I would eat Ellis because I'm on a diet and I want to go lean.
Oh,
I am.
Yeah, very lean.
You're lean. You're mostly bone.
You're mostly well. There's a lot of muscle. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's building some muscle, man. You know, it's gonna be tasty.
Yeah, I'm a lot of fat. It's mostly what I got.
Well, I'm afraid, like, after the beard you used to have, I bet you're hairy everywhere, man. I don't want to have to shave it.
All inside and stuff.
Yeah, I got all the hair in my bod. Where would you start? Because, you know, if you're going to eat a horse, you got to start bottom up. If you were going to eat me.
I'm starting at the top of Boogie, and I'm just going to, like, Wario chomp on him.
Are you
okay?
Are you going to eat?
Not spitting him out.
Are you eating me alive?
Yes, it's very important that you're alive.
So, have you ever seen?
Because I don't heal any damage on myself if you're not alive.
Have you
Are
ever
you
seen?
currently damaged?
Have you ever seen The Night of the Living Dead?
I'm familiar.
There's a
Yes.
sequel.
Yeah.
There's a sequel made in the 80s.
Yes.
It's I forget the name of it. It's not. It doesn't have the word "The Living Dead" in it. Is it Day of the Dead? Is that the one from the 80s? The one that's all punk rock?
They all blend together to me, but I know that
There are-
was one of the sequels.
Several. Are you thinking of Return of the Living Dead?
Yeah,
Jacob would
Return
know
of the
better
Living
than
Dead. So if you guys don't know, if you guys don't watch Red Letter Media, you should. I think you boys are very aware of them, but our listeners may not be. Red Letter Media, give them a follow on YouTube and everywhere else. But they just did a review, review of Return of the Living Dead, which is an insanely good movie, by the way. If you've never seen that, you probably should watch it. It is hysterically funny. And if you like comedy horror films, this is right up there, dude. I mean, they don't make them like Hopper in it. I don't know if Dennis Hopper's in it, but what this made me think of that is in that movie, zombies literally never stop moving or dying. Once it's animated dead, you are alive forever. So, spoiler here for a movie that came out in the 80s. they have everybody in that movie has seen Night of the Living Dead. So they believe it works the way Night of the Living Dead does. And so at one point when they accidentally uncover one of the first zombies, and these are the zombies from the previous Night of the Living Dead, they have been captured and put into stasis, and they are supposed to store them, and they accidentally get out. They try to destroy the brain of one, and it fails. It continues to move and continues to be alive, and it's still screaming. The zombie is screaming because they're sentient and they can talk, okay? Which leads to one of my favorite lines in any horror movie ever. There's one where these cops show up and the zombies kill the cops, and one of the zombies grabs the microphone and leans in and says, "Send more cops." Because they want to eat them, you know. So anyway, the yellow zombie, they call him the yellow zombie because he's dyed yellow at that point because he's been in stasis for a really long time. They shove a pickaxe through his head and it keeps screaming. So they think the most logical thing to do then would be to cut off the head. That'll kill it, right? Nope. The head is still alive and the body is still alive after that. And so the body gets up and like runs around the whole place, and eventually they chop it into little pieces, but the little pieces continue to move. So they think we need to destroy it entirely. We will take all of these cursed or scientifically destroyed or whatever, however you want to call it.
Scientifically cursed.
And we will cremate it. We're going to cremate it and then utterly destroy it. But if you have any concept of how atoms work, that doesn't destroy these cursed atoms. It just distributes them into the air. So now the particles are zombies. What? And they infect you, anybody who breathes those particles. And so
that's how it spreads?
Right, that's how it spreads, and everything goes completely to shit. And those particles will also resurrect not just the previously dead, like in the previous movie, because this is its own thing. It is kind of a spiritual sequel. Those creatures also, it will resurrect skeletons. And so even at one point, there's a skeleton that shoots up out of the ground with eyeballs. It still has eyeballs. It's a skeleton with eyeballs for some reason. It is like so horribly animated, and it's so funny, and it's just so, it's so morbid and disgusting and awful. And I'd forgotten about that movie until that review. And I forget what you mentioned that made me think about stuff that can't die and continues to move.
Eating you alive, I think.
Yeah, it was eating me alive, right? That's what it is. So you could do that to one of those creatures.
Normal stuff that comes up in the podcast.
It would just continue to scream. If you cursed me with that, I would just continue to scream.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Like,
so
I would expect nothing less. Honestly, the screams make you more delicious. Hey guys, what would be your ideal most decadent sandwich? Ooh, this comes off of us last week talking about Elvis's sandwiches that he would eat and how I'm just gonna say batshit crazy they were.
I think the most
delicious
one, having not heard any of your previous answers, I'm just gonna go with baby brains. That'd be pretty decadent. I don't know that it would be good.
It would definitely.
Is that your ideal?
No, it's not ideal. It's just the first decadent thing.
Okay, well, I'm asking for your most ideal decadent sandwich creation. I often eat potato bread with crunchy peanut butter and sriracha and bacon. That is the sandwich I eat all the time, and it is a delicious sandwich.
Sounds really good.
It's very good.
I want my bread to be made by Yo-Yo Ma.
Okay.
I don't know if those skills would translate, but you know, he could like also then like play music while I'm eating it, and that would be great.
Or play it to the bread. Make the bread imbue it.
Oh, yeah. He could imbue the dulcet tones of his music into the bread as he's making it. That sounds good. I'm into that. And then all the internal ingredients are made by my new favorite crack team, Iron Chef Miyamoto and Alton Brown are going to get together, and they're going to make that sandwich. And it's very important that I don't know what's in it. Like I don't know the ingredients, because then I am so pleasantly surprised when I bite into this decadent sandwich.
I like how classy your sandwich is, and mine sounds like Guy Fieri had it came up with it in a fever dream.
Yours is a lot more attainable.
There's a sandwich Elvis used to make all the time.
Yes.
And basically, it's insane. I mean, it's completely insane. I've always wanted to try it. I've never thought, because if I liked it, God help me, right? But what you do is you take a loaf of bread and you just whatever delicious bread, right? And you kind of scoop out the bread. Scoop out the bread in the middle, right? And don't think pre-sliced. You know, you're thinking like not a baguette, but a nice big loaf like that, right? Then you fill it with an entire jar of peanut butter, an entire jar of jelly, okay? Then layer a few sliced bananas into it, okay? Right? Then a few strips of pre-cooked bacon. Then you wrap it with string and you deep fry it. Then you pull that out of there and you slice it. Now, I want to go a little more decadent because I want to add some money to this because I've always wanted to eat money too. We're also going to include gold leaf layer. A gold leaf layer
not
in
just
there.
Like
I thought you were going to, munch a $1 bill. And I was
gold
like,
leaf.
Because gold leaf's way more expensive than dollar bills, man.
Yeah.
And so
depends on how many dollar bills.
So add gold leaf to it. All right. And then slice it up, little slices, and I think we need a sauce to dip it in. I don't know what sauce you would dip it in. What would you dip
raspberry jam?
Yes,
the same you dip a Monte Cristo into.
Hey, but you see, you've already got jam on there, right?
Yeah, there's already jam. I don't want to dip my
jam
into jam.
A different jam. What about a jalapeno jam?
Ooh,
That's
like that mango jalapeno stuff we can get at Slim's.
Right, there you go.
Good.
That sounds pretty good.
Yes. I just had a heart attack thinking about this
some white queso, yeah.
I see, white queso. I see chocolate sauce sounds good too. Yeah, because it's peanut butter. I mean, peanut butter and banana and chocolate all go together with that jam flavor. Oh, God, I want a peanut butter jam. I had a peanut butter jelly sandwich so bad right now. You guys
want to go get food after this? That sounds like
Where can you get a deep fried peanut butter, banana, and bacon jelly sandwich though?
I mean,
I have an air fryer. I could make that and put it in an air fryer.
Chad,
I don't think it's the same thing.
I don't think that would really work. Chad, call the Chad.
Chad, please go to the store and purchase a giant loaf of bread, an entire thing of peanut butter, some jelly, some bacon.
As opposed to purchasing not an entire thing of peanut butter?
Yeah, could you get me half a jar of peanut butter, please, Chad?
If you go to Ozark, Natural Foods, or Whole Foods, you can grind your own peanut butter and get as much as you want or as little as you want. Thank you very much.
I would like 1 spoonful of peanut butter, please.
1 spoonful, please.
Okay.
Medicine good.
I would like 1 ground up peanut, please.
1
peanut's worth of butter, please. Thank you.
All right. So you have Boogie.
Yes.
You have a character in Mortal Kombat whose moves are all based on Scottish food.
Ooh.
What do you call this character? What are their special moves, and what fatalities do they have?
His name is Great Scott.
Okay.
Nice.
That's also what I came up with, so good job.
Okay. His fatality definitely involves bagpipes.
Okay. Yeah.
At least one of them.
Fights with them,
right?
Like he's got like spiritual, summoned bagpipes.
The second one. Well, no. See, I want him involved Okay, hold on. He eviscerates you and turns your body into bagpipes.
Yes. That's it. That's
then his other fatality is he just makes haggis out of you and eats it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So he reaches in, grabs your stomach, splits it open, grabs all your other organs, shoves them in there, and sews it up real quick, and then just takes a nice big bite.
I like that. So I was thinking for movesets, base it all on like the Highlander games, like the caber toss or whatever, where they just pick up a tree trunk and throw it as far as they can. Have you looked at these games? The stuff that they do is wild. One of them is pick up a series of ever increasingly large spherical stones. And the last one is like, and I watched a video of a guy completing it, and it starts off and you're like, that's a pretty big stone ball. I thought he was going to start with like a golf ball size. That's like a bowling ball size. This is the beginning. And then it goes up like 12. Wow. And so every one, it's like, there's no way there's a bigger stone than this. And the last one is just like the size of his body, and he just picks it up. So you just like pick it up and just drop it on people or throw tree trunks at them. Or you could just hit them with like a big 2-handed sword.
I was thinking
that also works.
I was thinking that, but I was also thinking a spiritual brother to Bo Rai Cho, right? So he would drink, right, and then like do a lot of burps and farts, blowing his kilt up at you every once in a while when he does the farts, right? You have like a variety of kilts that you can gather. I just basically wanted to be Bo Raicho, I think. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
All right, show Mirror Fighter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Echo Fighter. Excuse me.
Echo Fighter, yeah.
Echo
But remember, we do get 3 movesets, technically, with the new way they do Mortal Kombat. So one of them is he's got the big staffs and the big balls. The other is he farts and drinks.
Got the big staffs and the big
The big staffs and the big balls. Well, most Scottish people do have big staff and big balls, you know.
That's their Scotch eggs.
Yeah. And then what would be a third moveset then?
Just a grappler. He's got like 2 command grabs.
Yeah, like
He's just like a regular old fighter.
Right.
From the from the Simpsons, right?
Oh,
yeah.
All of his entry lines are about how much he hates Bart Simpson.
That question was came in from Scottish Geek Plays. So thank you very much for that one.
Hey,
that is a good one.
That guy's a cool guy.
If you can't guess, he's Scottish.
He is Scottish.
He might be Scottish. Well, we were horribly stereotypically offensive right there, so it's probably our fault. All right, guys, we got time for one more good question here, and we'll be at the 90-minute mark. We should probably cap it there. What do you got for us?
All right. If you're stuck on a desert island with the worst possible video game villain you could imagine hunting you, and one video game hero to protect you, who's the villain? Who's the hero?
Oh, okay. My immediate thought is who's the sexiest hero? So definitely.
Weird move because they need to like keep you alive and stuff.
Oh, okay. Listen to me. All right, Lara Croft can keep me alive, dude. Okay. Are you being sexist right now? Are you saying Lara Croft because she's a woman and is sexy can't keep me alive?
How do you think Lara Croft would handle fighting Godzilla?
Well, poorly.
Megatron.
Something with her tits, I guess. I don't know.
Lara Croft would be fantastic at survival and keeping me alive if we had to fight dudes.
Okay, how about this then, smartass? Bayonetta. She could take on Godzilla in a heartbeat, and she is sexy
That's true.
AF.
All right, so Godzilla and Bayonetta. There you go.
Bayonetta.
We got there.
That's a good answer.
Thank you, Epic, always, for supplying Bayonetta, because I would never come up with that one. That was really good. Though I want long hair Bayonetta. I don't like the short hair Bayonetta.
Okay.
Doesn't she always have long hair?
She did in the last game, and then between game 1 and game 2, she cut it.
But like all her moves are hair related.
Right, but that's the thing. Since she can make her hair as long as she wants, and she just wanted it to be short.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She thought it looked more hip and cool.
Yeah, she liked it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
Yep.
I hope next time in like Bayonetta 3, she has the "I want to speak to your manager" cut.
That's the one she has in Bayonetta 2.
Oh, is it
exactly,
really is like that.
Like,
yeah,
she's like, my son did not get to play in this soccer team, and I am very upset. Haircut is what she has.
And that question before we move on too far is from Tree Roy. Tree Roy,
Requiem
6670. Thank you so much for that question, Tree Roy. All right.
I think
that's gonna do it.
That wraps us up.
We got to wrap it up.
Hey guys, don't forget, by the way, you can always find the boys over at twitch.tv/big_breakfast, and Jacob will be streaming as soon as we're done here. So if you're in the live YouTube or live Twitch chat, I'm gonna raid them directly. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to do all that YouTube stuff like hit subscribe, hit like, give us your social security number, whatever it is. I don't remember what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, we want that credit card information.
If you're listening on that iTunes, that Spotify, or anywhere you can rate the podcast and you enjoyed it, please do, and leave a positive comment. Let them know that you enjoyed what we are doing here. And if you're one of those affluent people who have more than an extra $1 in their pockets at the end of the month, you can always go to patreon.com/The Big Stack Podcast and hook a brother up. Heck, because we right now are just getting enough money to buy a video game once a month, maybe 2, which is great. But you know what we would love is my good friend Ellis, my good friend Jacob, were able to pay their rent by just doing this podcast on top of streaming and everything else they do to work hard to try to build their following. And if you could do anything,
Disposable Income Man is our favorite superhero.
If you could do it, that would be my GURPS hero power. I would just be
Disposable Income Man.
Elon Musk in GURPS. That's what we're rolling.
Hey, Elon Musk goes a little beyond disposable income.
He shot a car into space. It's like the epitome of disposable income.
Let me tell you something. No, he didn't. It looked fake. And once you really start looking at it, you realize that can't be in space because there is no space. Number one, there were no stars because you can't fake stars using CGI, obviously. Secondly, all right, the world is flat, so there is no space. Thirdly, if you got that close to the edge of the world to try to put something into space, God would stop you.
He would. I've seen him do it. With these eyes.
Visit our website at www.wedon'thaveone.com. We don't have one. Don't go there. That's probably a virus. Guys, thanks for watching. If you're watching the live stream, we will hang out and say goodnight. And thank you guys for the donations, the bits, and that kind of thing. And if you're listening elsewhere, can we say thank you for watching? We love you very much. And we'll speak with you again soon.
Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
Well, it's time to go. Do, 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 do.
Do, do.